This is Doug Small with Project Praise Thought for today. Hinton said, a holy life has a voice. It speaks even when the tongue is silent. And it is either a constant attraction, people being drawn to it, or a perpetual reproof. A holy life has a voice. It speaks even when the tongue is silent, and it will attract people or it will repel people. There's no neutrality. We're either lights or we are darkness. We are either salt or we are salt that has lost its savor and no salt at all. We can't be silent because our lives shout. Even when you don't join in, that too is a declaration of your beliefs. When you don't follow the crowd, that too is a declaration of your beliefs. You know, when the world attempts to destroy the voice of holiness and the voice of godliness and the voice of righteousness, it shouts even louder. Its blood, the blood of martyrs, continues to testify. It echoes in inestimable ways. You can't shout, silence it. The voice gets louder. If you kill it, you discover it is indestructible because it is the essence of God that comes out of our lives. A holy life has a voice. And it may be uncomfortable to aspire to be a holy, godly, righteous person because there's some people that are turned off, but there are other people that are strangely attracted to the holiness in your life. Let's remember that holiness is three things. Number one, God pronounces you holy when he redeems you. And that is a claim that he puts on your life. You were a little clay house condemned, not even fit for habitation because of sin. The wages of sin is death. You were marked to be condemned, bound for hell, bound for the trash heap. And God came along and he saw you and he said, well, this is a cute little house. I think I'm going to take this clay house. That's you. I'm going to redeem it. So he paid the price. He took the condemned sign off. And then he does something that's a little more painful. He moves in, takes possession, and starts knocking out the walls. He's fixing you up. He's changing you. He's transforming you. He justifies, and then he begins to sanctify. The end result, number three, is wholeness. You are healthy. You're a cute little temple of the Holy Spirit. Number one, he claims you. Number two, he changes you. And number three, he brings you to a place of spiritual health and vitality. So we talk about the beauty of holiness. You know, sheep get fleas and they get lice and they get kind of a disease of the skin, and they pass it on, all these things along, by rubbing their heads together. Yeah, it's a fascinating thing. They rub their heads together and pass disease to one another. A terrible thing. We do that too. Are you rubbing your head with the wrong person? Are you rubbing your head with people who aren't committed to holiness, who aren't committed to righteousness? Here's what they did with sheep. They dipped them, they baptized them, and they got all the disease and the disease elements off their life. Do you need to be baptized again? I do once in a while. I need to be baptized in the Holy Spirit, baptized in God's grace, baptized in holiness. And I need to start putting my head with Jesus' head and not with people around me whose ideas are going to push me in the wrong direction. You see, a holy life has a voice. It can't be silenced. I want to be hungry for holiness. How about you? This is Doug Small. Project Pray, the thought for the day.
Does your church need to jumpstart its prayer ministry? Consider a Prayer Impact Weekend with P. Douglas Small, teaching and preaching on prayer, meeting with potential prayer leaders, breakout sessions. 4 groups in your church must be open if your church is going to transition from a house of praise and preaching to a house of prayer for the nations. Find out which groups are included and the process of becoming a house of prayer for the nations. Each weekend is tailored just for your congregation. Dr. Small has traveled the world, impacting pastors and prayer leaders in more than 100 nations of the world. Call for more information, 704-938-9111. That's 704-938-9111. Check out projectpray.org website.